So Katharine, it's fantastic to see you. I know you're very, very busy, so we're going to have a short chat. But the last time we spoke on Zoom, you said the scientists have been lowballing climate change forecasts. If this is the case, shouldn't we literally be doing everything we can to justly and drastically reduce our emissions?
I think we should. And all too often people say, well, aren't we doing too much or spending too much? And I think we're looking at it the wrong way around. If we don't fix climate change, there will be no economy. There will be no civilization. So the question is, how much are you willing to spend to save it?
Yeah. Okay, and your new book is all about, it's about hope, but it's also about pragmatic approaches to this issue and in our own lives. In the last day, I've had messages and calls from friends around the country and some in Sydney. They're calling this event, the COP, a cop out, a junket, a contradiction. It's generally a lot of negativity I'm getting. Do you think these are valid, or how would you sort of frame it from the inside?
I think there's certainly reason for that perspective, but they're also missing all the positives. It is not only about every country in the world coming together. There are all kinds of other organizations here. There are companies and organizations, churches, all kinds of different groups that are here, and they are making a difference. There are pledges to eliminate deforestation, to reduce methane emissions, to shut down coal-fired power plants and not use coal anymore. There are definitely good things happening here. And like everything that humans are involved in, there's the good, there's the bad, and there's the ugly.
Okay, there's a lot of noise, and perhaps that's what seems to be making it into the mainstream.
I think so.
And also, you've probably noticed this, I've seen you've been at the march, and the mood in the streets is really heating up. Little kids are chanting slogans. It feels like there's a transfer of agency from the sort of halls of politics to the wider audience. What is your reading of the vibe outside, if you like?
For a long time, people have seen climate change as a niche issue that only matters to certain people. But today, people are starting to realize that climate change truly isn't everything issue. It's a human issue. I live in the United States, where 70% of people are worried about climate change. In the UK, it's more like 76%. But the majority of people still feel helpless, and they don't know what to do. And that's why it's so important to talk not only about the risks, but also about the solutions and about how every single one of us has a role to play. And that role begins by using our voice to talk about why it matters and what we can do to fix it where we live, where we go to work, where we study, where we worship, the organizations, the groups, the teams, the clubs that we're part of. Whoever we are connected with other people. And by using our voice, it's like the catalyst that begins that action. It knocks over the first domino in that chain of dominoes that leads us to a better future. And every single one of us has a role to play.
Well, that's a fantastic reason to read your book, but we're going to talk about that after the COP. But as a scientist, you know that beneath the press releases here, there are stark scientific truths. And are you seeing ways that we're going to be able to bridge things like the emissions gap, and you mentioned some other things as well that are making progress, to find an equitable and sort of diplomatic solutions to a better future?
There are many people that are looking for exactly that. And there is no perfect solution that will make everyone happy, but there are absolutely solutions that will cut our emissions, that will help nature help us by absorbing more carbon, that would get us to net zero as quickly as possible.
Okay, so you think it's a bit of a messy process, but we can get there.
Exactly, that's a very good way to put it.
And this is really just to end on. If you had one mantra for the rest of this week in Glasgow, what is it?
As much as possible, as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to speaking to you after the COP. I know you're really busy, so I'm going to let you go.
Likewise.